Chapter 5, Section 1 in the 7th grade workbook is entitled The Coordinate Plane. Let's go and take a look at the first set of questions here. 1 through 4 is asking you to identify the quadrant that contains each point. Remember, the coordinate plane is divided into 4 sections called quadrants. The main quadrant is this upper right quadrant called Quadrant 1. And that's the one we use most often. It's the one we use when we make bar graphs and line graphs and like. The numbering then goes with Roman numerals counterclockwise. So this one on the upper left is Quadrant 2. This one down here is Quadrant 3. And this last one at the bottom right is called Quadrant 4. So in number 1, where they're asking you to identify the location of point A, since point A is down here in this box, that means that point A is in Quadrant 3. Now it's asking me also to identify the point. We can do that here. Identifying the point is naming it with its x-axis number and with its y-axis number. So where is this point at on the x-axis? Well, remember, the x-axis is the one that was going left to right, as I just showed you there. The x-axis point right here is at -3, which means its x-coordinate is going to be -3. Then we want to go ahead and identify its y-coordinate point. Y-coordinate is where it matches up with on the y-axis. Well, as we read across from the y-axis number line, that's -1. So the coordinate of point A is -3, -1. As we go ahead and take a look at B, B is down here in this bottom right quadrant. So that's Quadrant 4, as you can see we've numbered it. And then we'll go ahead and identify its coordinates. Point B, compared to its x-axis representation, is straight down from 4 on the x-axis, which means its y-coordinate is going to be 4. The y-coordinate value here is where it matches up with on the y-axis, and as you can see, that's all the way at the bottom there of the grid, and that would be, here's -4, 1 down would be -5, of course, so its y-coordinate is going to be -5. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the next section here, where they're asking me to plot each point on the coordinate plane. So, the first one here, -4, 0. Remember, each point is always given with its x value first and its y value second. So -4 represents where it is on the x-axis, and 0 represents where it is on the y-axis. So, taking a look at number 5, the point here is at -4 on the x-axis, which is right here, and 0 on the y-axis. Now, because it's at 0 on the y-axis, that means I'm not actually going to have to go up or down to get there. Well, that being the case, where I just put that x is indeed where -4, 0 is going to be. Now, let's try it with one where we have to work a little bit harder. In number 6, we're going to plot the point 3, -3. So the first number, 3, is where it is on the x-axis. So that's over here. And the second value is -3. Well, again, that's where it is on the y-axis, and that's the one where it goes up and down, just right here. So what I'm going to do is pull my fingers together now and see where those two meet, and that's this point right here. Notice if I drop the x-coordinate down and the y-coordinate to the right, that's where those two intersect. So that's where the point 3, -3 is. So there's the point for number 6. In number 7, we've got 1, 4. So that means for the x-axis representation for the question number 7, that's going to be at 1, which is right here on the x-axis. And its y value representation is going to be at 4, which is up here on the y-axis. Well, again, I'm going to put my fingers together and show where those meet. I'll do it with arrows here, and I can show that those two end up meeting right here. So that's the point for number 7. And you'll continue doing the same thing when you're going for 8, 9, and 10.